Note, this skit is a parody of a kid show and is in no way meant for children. So please, don't let them watch it. Side note, my audio got a little messed up, so sorry if audio quality is meh.
Hey kids, welcome back to everyone's favorite show, Maniac Monkeys!
Hey kids, how are we doing today? That's monktastic! On today's show, we have something very special in store for y'all. But before that, let's hear a word from our sponsor.
Today's episode of Maniac Monkeys is sponsored by Matar Metal, the leading brand in cutlery. Are you in need of extra sharp knives for all your daily needs? Perfect for slicing, dicing, chopping, and any form of cutting. Vegetables? No problem. Fruits? Easy as pie. Meat? Slices through with ease. Normally, the whole set would cost $60, but call 1-800-545-8436 right now, and we'll slice that price in half. The whole set for just $30. So don't miss this killer deal. Again, call 1-800-545-8436. Now back to the show.
And we're back! So let's get right into it, kids. On today's episode, we're going to show you a very important life skill. How to slit someone's throat! And thanks to Matar Metal for providing us with their special killer knife. So, kids, how do you properly slice someone's throat? And who and when should you slice someone's throat? Well, let me explain. Here, we have the human throat. This area right here is a prime cut of the beast. So when you slice someone's throat, there are two very important areas you need to slice through. The first areas that you need to slice through are the jugular veins. One good slice will sever the right and left veins and cause a whole bunch of yummy, juicy blood to spurt out of the person's throat. A good cut will leave them dead in less than a minute. So not enough time for them to be saved, but just enough time for them to suffer. Sound easy enough? The next very important area to cut is the larynx and vocal cords. These are very important, so when you slice through their throat, they won't be able to breathe or scream for help. You'll just hear the peaceful sound of them choking on their own blood. Which is why it's super important to slice those blood vessels too. A fun game I like to play when I slice someone's throat is to see what will kill them first. Lack of oxygen or lack of blood. If you can only slice the blood vessels and not the larynx and vocal cords, or vice versa, that's okay, because they'll probably still die. But the cleanest slices will be able to hit all the sweet, juicy spots. Just take some practice, kids. I know you'll be able to do it. Let's move on to who and when you should slice up. For starters, just know that this isn't something you can do often, so you have to save it for very special occasions. Because once you do this, you gotta dispose of the person. But we'll cover that in a later episode. So, sorry to say, kids, you can't just murder your parents for not letting you play Fortnite due to your dropping grades. But speaking of grades, here's a good example for who and when. Say it's the end of the year, and you have a B+ in a class, and you want that A-, but your teacher is what we call a bitch. What do? Well, you walk up to her and ask her to bump up that grade. If she says no, you can show her your knife and tell her if she doesn't, you'll slice her throat right then and there. That is what's known as a threat. Very important thing to learn in the real world. And thanks to today's show, you'll be able to back up your knife-slashing threats. So, now that you know how to slice and who and when to slice, you're ready to start slitting throats yourself. But I have a great idea. I'll show you how it's done live right now. Luckily, we have someone who so kindly is donating their throat for our little example. Let's give a warm welcome to our test monkey, Jim. introduce Jim to you.
Kids, you gotta help me get out of here! They're crazy, all of them! No, 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 no!
Oops, looks like Jim's safety device just came off. Silly Jim. Remember kids, safety always comes first. Especially for us, since we're handling very sharp objects. Let's try this again. Like I said, this is Jim. Jim is what we call a very bad person. He was about to go to prison for doing very disturbing things to little kids just like you guys watching. Luckily, we got a hold of him so he can be our little test monkey. So let's get started with our little test. Remember kids, I've been doing this for a very long time, so don't be discouraged if you're not as good as me your first time. They don't call me the murder monkey for nothing. Okay kids, we're just about ready to start. Just remember where the prime slicing area is. Get in your stance and aim your target. We gotta make sure to slice the blood vessels and vocal cords too. Normally, this would be done a lot faster, but this is for example. Hold the knife tight in your hands and slice! And that, kids, is how you slice someone's throat. Let's give a round of applause for Jim for being a perfect little test monkey! And that's our lesson for today, kids! Hope you kids learned something new and useful today. Another quick thank you to Matar Metal for sponsoring this episode of Maniac Monkeys and providing us with our knife. On next week's show, we'll learn how to make a shiv out of your wooden pencils. So long, my fellow maniacs. Until next week, stay crazy!